Thank you for tuning in to Mind Your Business, M.Y.B Talk Radio, the business talk show that talks all about business. I'm your host, Miss Robin-Annette. Call in and leave your comment, 1-877-704-1010 or 410-481-1010, or you can listen live at WOLBbaltimore.com. For more information on M.Y.B Talk Radio, go to the site at www.mybtalkradio.com. Like us on Facebook. Hit that like button under M.Y.B Talk Radio. Follow us on Twitter and other mothership productions. Let's Talk Business on LinkedIn. Today's topic phrase, guys, is coffee, a cup of wealth, a cup of health. Today on M.Y.B Talk Radio, we'll be covering how to open up your very own coffee establishment, tons of money that can be made, stats, and the truth about what coffee can really do for you. A little history, and of course, the dotted line. First, I will start, of course, with some news for you. Finally, last Friday, Starbucks announced that they will be opening 3 more Evolution Fresh Incorporated juice stores, in addition to the one opened earlier this year in 2012. Starbucks purchased the Evolution Fresh Incorporated brand late last year for $30 million. Once again, folks, the topic phrase is coffee, a cup of wealth, a cup of health. How wealthy and healthy can you become in the coffee industry? So, according to Wikipedia.org, coffee goes back as far as the 13th century. And there was a man by the name of Kaldi. He was a 9th century Ethiopian goat herder who discovered the coffee tree. Starting in Ethiopia, it spread, of course, to Egypt and Yemen, and drinking coffee, or at least the knowledge of drinking coffee and the coffee tree, was actually documented in the middle of the 15th century. This was in the Sufi ministries in Yemen. And by the 16th century, it had spread to the Middle East, Persia, and Turkey, Northern Africa, and a few parts of Asia and Southeast Asia. It spread to Italy and the rest of Europe, Indonesia, and finally, just so you all know, this program is brought to you by Mothership Productions, currently featuring A2B, that's your Administrative to Business Services and Products, and that website is www.a2biz.biz. That's www.biz.biz. And you can go to www.mybtalkradio.com for viewing of the previous shows, like the Business Side of Sports, The Takeover, Majority Minority TV Networks, and for more information on advertising your business and sponsorships, you can go to that site. Or call me on 240-389-8934. Follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook. Let's Talk Business on Mothership Productions under LinkedIn. So now, guys, let's go into how to actually open your very own coffee industry. Now that we've getting a little history, let's get into the real meat of the show. According to ehow.com and ineedcoffee.com, you really could start from one or two ways. Either you can team up or have a leveraged buyout. As some of you all have heard my takeover show, you all learned about each type of buying out of a business, and one of the most popular has been a leveraged buyout, and that's where you take an existing company and buy out maybe not the entire thing, but even 49% or 51% under certain commitments. Or, as you all know, I'm sure, you can start from scratch, and here's how you do that. So according to ehow.com, like as an indie business, first what you need to do is get familiar with the industry. Naturally, you have to study the coffees industries and the companies that have already been successful. You know, you want to see where they've come from and how they started and their successes, their failures, what they've done to succeed. So make sure you do that. Always do your research in any business before you go head into it, because this is an investment of your money, and you're looking to expand your money. So I suggest you do all the research needed. Number 2, before you go to the bank for a loan to start your business, or any private investor or financial backer, get that business plan done. It takes a while if you do it by yourself. Sometimes you can hire someone to do that for you. There's tons of people out here who are in the business of just writing business plans and proposals and things like that. So that'll cut down if you do plan to do it by yourself, which is sometimes the kind of person I am. I like to put my stamp on everything. they won't even, financial institutions won't even back you or consider you or even try to look at you if you don't have that business plan done, because they want to see where your head is at and where your business is heading. And you want to include costs for leasing, purchasing foods with your coffee. Usually runs about, to start off, just so you know, to go into the bank, it was about 200,000 to 375,000, depending on your credit score. So you'll need to put that about 10 to 20% of that down to qualify for the loan. About this and, is, location, location, location. Once again, according to eHow and I Need Coffee, and yours truly, I have some information on that also. Location is very important. Very important. That's one of the most important factors, especially with this kind of business. If your coffee house is not convenient to the general public, it won't be as successful as it could be. If you've chosen a good location, expect to gross about $2,000 to $3,000 a day. In your second month, they also stated that you could make about $20,000 to $30,000 a month at the end of your first year. You could also get up to $500,000, and in your third year, make a little over $1 million. So this business is very lucrative. I mean, if they're buying that much coffee, imagine how much profit and money is being made. I Need Coffee.com says that, put this in your mind, if your rent for your coffee house is about $3,000 to $8,000 and you're grossing about $20,000, you should get about 30 to 40% of that every time, and when it's all said and done, you would pocket about $12,000 per month. Now, when I had said earlier about the $20,000 in your pocket, that's true, but we're not thinking about putting part of that back into your business for more supplies, furniture, cleanup, things like that. But actual cash in pocket for yourself and your business and just saving or whatever you want to do with it, $12,000 a month. And here are some, I Need Coffee gave you some really good location ideas. Some of them make common sense, but sometimes you just don't think about that. You got so much on your mind, and some things slip, and you really just, the smallest thing could be a huge one if you don't really recognize it. Like I said, people drink coffee all doggone day. So, but anyway, number 2 on the fun tip of the the business is the design. Now, naturally, you want to put your creativity. You need to design your store in general to look attractive to the general audience. However, you also, business-wise, think about the flow of traffic. I mean, you want to also design it for speed and efficiency of service. In other words, you need to design your store, your shop, as convenient as possible, so you don't have things like the long customer line. Just think about it. When you go into a shop, especially for your coffee, it's something quick, unless you're sitting down with a newspaper writing notes or on your laptop. A lot of these places, if not all of these places, have Wi-Fi. But if you're trying to get your coffee quick, you're just trying to run, dash to work, whatever you want to do. Some people can't live, they say, without coffee. So when you're doing that, you want to make sure that you have an easy way from inside of the store to the line to the chairs or the tables and back and around it goes. And therefore, ways for your staff to clean easily so the appearance is not horrible for the new oncoming customers. That's also important too. You don't want to look sloppy. You might have a nice business. You might even have a nice quality product, but be sharp, guys. And last but not least, and here's something from yours truly, one of my specialties, which is marketing. You really have to look at the different avenues there. You can create your posters, your flyers, your banners. I mean, these are the programs that come in on Microsoft. You can Word. I mean, you can do flyers, banners. Go to Kinko's, do whatever you have to do. And also, you can do, have something I like to call Street Beat, and that's where a small team of people that maybe you've hired, either on a small dollar amount or commission, take your flyers and postcards and even coupons. I would also think about creating coupons to pass out to strangers and telling them about the upcoming coffee shops. So think about that, guys. Also, there's social media. There's email blasts. There's so many different ways you can get the word out to people. Naturally, word of mouth is there too, but technology, use it. It's there. It's there. Use the technology at your fingertips. People are on social media all day long, and there's tons out there. There's tons I haven't even seen in my life. I mean, I went to go sign up for when I first started doing my business, that I signed up for TwitterRadio.com. And before we go any further, I would like to talk to someone online. Let's see what you got to say. This is Robin. How can I help you today? What's your comment? Hacky? Hockey, can you hear me?
Yes, it's Hakeem. How you doing?
Hockey, how are you today?
Great. Well, I wasn't necessarily, I tried coffee several different times, but I'm a health advocate. And what do you see for, I mean, I know that some of the studies in terms of the health benefits of coffee. I don't know, I caught the last half hour. I don't know if you went into.
Yeah, I was going to go into, matter of fact, soon I was going to go into some of the good and bad health sides of it. Okay. You have an excellent day. Bye-bye. Okay, thanks a lot, Hake. We also have Xavier holding online. Xavier, how can I help you today? What's your comment, sir?
How you doing today? It's Robin-Annette.
I'm doing well. How's it going today?
Every Monday, very professional.
Thank you.
And you're definitely a lady who knows her facts.
Yes, sir, I do try.
Yeah,
You do.
I have a business meeting right now, as a matter of fact, so I wanted to say keep up the good work.
Excellent, thank you. All right, well, I appreciate your comment. Have a good day, okay? Thanks a lot. Call in next Monday. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate your phone calls. So, and I'm glad that Haki did bring that up because I was going to go into that. And Xavier, once again, I appreciate it. And like I said, some people cannot live without that coffee. So, and as a matter of fact, it was cultivated also in Latin American countries with the coffee cherries that were traded. And that was one of the most largely agricultural commodities in the world. And that was next to oil trade. And that was according to Wikipedia. Now, just a few more stats before on that website. Coffee consumption stats show that coffee represents 75% of all caffeine consumed in the United States. So we're drinking a lot of coffee, and that's definitely big news for the risk of that disease. And decaffeinated coffee did not show that effect. And of course, this is this is contrary to some of the beliefs that that some people have. And that's very interesting because some people always put coffee down and it's not as bad as you think. There are some bad facts, but according to ThirstyBlogger.com, coffee is rich with antioxidants and can reduce cell damage and aging. They also say it reduces the risk of Parkinson's disease, type 2 diabetes, kidney stones, gallstones, and Alzheimer's disease. This is according to ThirstyBlogger.com. So, that's very interesting, and it's very beneficial. And as I said, though, however, there are still some very bad health conditions of drinking coffee. Thirsty Blogger also says it's bad for pregnant women, and it might lead to miscarriage, acid reflux, heartburn, and, of course, speed up the heart rate. Now, guys, as we come to the close of our show, we want to go to the dotted line. Of course, what happens when we go to the end of a contract, we want to go to the dotted line. Not only is there serious money to be made in the coffee industry, but there are benefits as well. Most of us can imagine it's very lucrative, and as I found, 50% of Americans consume caffeinated beverages, 3.1 cups a day. We understand that it is all about money when it comes to starting and developing and running a business. But are you selling a quality product? Are your consumers more interested in your brand or the next brand? But try not to worry about harmful side of the product, or what if it's even worth buying the higher cost product just to save money. But I'm telling you, before you go into the business, do what? Do your research, try to find a quality product, and before you end up out of business, you really need to take your time and know what it takes to run this business, which is coffee. Coffee, good wealth, good health. So that's about it, guys. I really appreciate you calling in and listening in. Make sure you tune in every single Monday to Mind Your Business, M.Y.B Talk Radio. And as I said, we're here from 1:30 to 2 p.m. I'm your host, Miss Robin-Annette. And before I go, I got to let you know there's no business like your own business. Once again, this is Miss Robin-Annette signing off on WOLB's Baltimore 1010 AM. in Baltimore.